At highway speeds, the average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. That's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts, stopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a successful motivational speaker and trusted life coach, Nancy knows how you can live the life you want regardless of the challenges you face. Although she's legally blind, Nancy's mission is to inspire others to overcome obstacles and live life full out. Call in at 800-333-0001 to ask Nancy for advice on topics such as relationships, finances, business, health, and more. Just call 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Welcome to the Living Full Out Show. I hope everybody is having a great day. It is so exciting to know that we have the ability to really steer our life in the direction that we want to go. Now, we all know, though, that life has those curveballs. Life has those unexpected moments. And again, that's what living full out is about. If everything was just planned out and streamlined and perfect every day, then we wouldn't have those moments in life where we could implement those survival skills, be proud of our accomplishments, know that we did it. So today's show, we're actually dedicating towards making those tough decisions in life. When we get to a crossroad in life where we're not sure if we're making the right decision or not, that can be very heavy on our hearts, and it can be relatable in so many aspects of our life. I know for myself, I'm legally blind, and trust me, I did not think that was the way my life was going to go. When I was 16 and I was diagnosed, I had plans of being the next Oprah Winfrey. I had plans of traveling the world and seeing things and just a much different vision. But as my vision did change, it threw me those curveballs. I constantly had to make adjustments. And there were times of a lot of tears, a lot of sadness, and a lot of where is my life going and what will become of me. And we all have those moments. That's just real. That's what life's about. But we do have those crosswords where we make a decision. We can either stay negative, stay depressed, stay anxious and uncertain, or we can grab hold of the wheel and steer ourselves into the direction that we're meant to go. Again, I believe in destiny. I believe in things happen for a reason. But sometimes those lessons are not learned right away. Life has to unfold. It has to layer. So we have some great guests coming up here in our second segment. Virginia Sanchez, trust me, you are going to be so inspired by her story. She's touched me from the first day I met her. Even every day that we talk, I'm impressed by her. And she's actually one of our Living Full Out team members. So personally, we are opening up to you today with her very special story. And for everybody listening today, this is your opportunity to call in. I am here for you. I'm a listening ear that would love to give you that motivation in your time of need or indecision. Go ahead and give us a call. Again, the number is 800-333-0001, 800-333-0001. It's interesting because for me, I feel like life is going really fast. I mean, super fast. And sometimes we gloss over those decisions. We just kind of plug in a quick fix. But I want everybody today over the course of the show to really think about this past week. Think about maybe the decisions that you glossed over, that you quickly fixed, when if you had taken just a little bit more time, had been maybe a little bit more patient, maybe you would have made a different decision. Now, would the decision have been better? Well, that's not easy to say because, again, you can't go wrong in life. It's meant to be experienced. But it's good to reflect each week as you kind of end the week and you embrace the new week. Look at how you want to do your life differently this week. Maybe making better decisions, being more patient. And so, again, today our show is dedicated to you for that fact. We're going to be going to the phone lines. We have Hannah coming up. Hannah, are you available? Are you there? Hello, Hannah. How are you doing? Welcome to the Living Full Out Show. Okay, well, we might having a few technical difficulties with Hannah. We'll come back to her. So the great thing about today's show, which I think is just exciting, is knowing that, again, every day is a new day. For anybody who feels as though you've made a wrong, feel bad about it, and maybe a lot of times it may haunt you or kind of gnaw at you, let that go. Everything that happened yesterday, a year ago, 5 years ago, that's gone. We will never be able to get back the past. We can never control the past. But you have absolute ability to plan your future. And so have today be an exciting day where you are going to plan. You're going to get excited. You're going to know that every mistake, every indecision that's in the past is just in the past. And that what you want for yourself in your life, the vision that you have for yourself in your life, is absolutely attainable. And so with that excitement and renewed energy, again, we're opening up the phone lines to you today at 800-333-0001. Let's see. We're going to go to the phone lines. We have Aaliyah. Welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi.
Hi, Aaliyah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good today. How are you doing?
I am great. I'm great. So thank you for calling into the show. Tell me, what's going on today?
Okay, so my problem right now really is that I'm very passionate about my career goals, but often I feel like I neglect everyone or just like everyday occurrences taking place around me just to make sure I can really reach my dream career. So I just wanted to know, is there a such thing as pushing yourself too far and like eventually when does it become too much?
That is a great question. You know, I'm so glad that you're calling in about this, and you sound very bright and young, and so it's great that you're asking about this now. You have to be careful to not become a workaholic. Mm-hmm. And life is full of many passions. One passion will be your career, will be your life. Another passion may be family and friends, good foods, traveling, education. Very careful to put all your eggs in one basket. Find a way to find balance in your life. It sounds like you're very focused on your career, which is great and probably needed, to give you to make you feel comfortable and excited about your future. But if you were to find balance in other areas of your life where you feel like maybe you've kind of let that go, what areas would that be?
If there were some things that I could possibly let go.
Well, are there areas in your life where you'd like to put more of your attention? In addition to career?
Maybe more so my siblings. I feel like I don't spend enough time with my sisters more so. They're getting older, and as they get older, I feel like I should most definitely spend more time with them and just get to know them and let them get to know me as we grow together. So I feel like that'd be something I'd really like to dedicate my time to.
You know what? That's a great goal. And it's funny that you mentioned that. I had a very similar goal this past New Year's because I have two half-sisters, two step-sisters, two real sisters. I've got a whole bunch of sisters. But the thing is I think that's an excellent goal. And what you want to do is start to put some energy into that. Don't lose sight of your career goals, but just take something really easy that you can do. Maybe it's a lunch. Maybe it's a dedication that you're going to call them once a week. Yeah. And again, don't take on too much. Let's just focus on career and your siblings. But as you can start to make little commitments to other areas of your life in addition to work, you're going to start to feel that shift. You're going to start to feel that balance, and you're going to feel very complete. Right now, it sounds like there's just so much energy going into your career that it's kind of allowing your life to be a little off balance.
Most definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Is that something you think you can do?
Yes, most definitely.
Good. And what is that dream career of choice?
My dream career, I really want to be a screenwriter. I really want to have my own TV shows on screen and on the big screen as well, have my own movies put out there for the world. And I just feel like I should start working towards that now if I want to reach it eventually. But I really just want to make sure that I spend time with my family as well when I'm trying to get there.
Well, I love it. And the thing is this is a very positive, supportive community. So everybody listening today, let's go ahead and cheer Aaliyah on. And we're going to hold the space that you're going to have a thriving career in screenwriting, and you're going to have balance and a lot of great cherish time with your siblings. So do call in, keep us posted on your outreach with your siblings and your career, and then let's go ahead and support you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a great day.
You have a great day, too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You got it. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What a great question. Boy, I'm telling you, I love career. I think putting time into your career is a great thing. But I also know that it's really easy to watch life go by. I know for myself, and as you all know, I'm an open book. I'm happy to share anything. I dove right into my career, and I love my career. But I have to admit, just like Aaliyah, I started to see time with my siblings disappear, time with my friends disappear. And thankfully, several years ago, I took control of my life and I brought that back. And now I have really great relationships with my friends and my family. And so for everybody listening today, you have that ability. It's just time to reach out to one person that you haven't connected with in a while and go ahead and make that connection. Great job, Aaliyah, for calling in. We're proud of you for taking that step. Again, anybody else who has a question today on your mind, do feel free to give us a call. We're all here to support you in living your life full out. That number again is 800-333-0001. 800-333-0001. You know, one of the things that I have found in my life to be so interesting is ego. Who doesn't have an ego, right? Now, I say that lovingly because I'm not saying that we all are egotistical, but it is important to be humble. It is important to when you embrace life, surrender to it. Be open to the mistakes. Be open to the lessons learned. And sometimes we have to put aside looking good, having all the answers, getting everything right. Living full out is a journey that's meant to be lived, and we're all living that live here today. So, again, feel free to give us a call. I believe in all of you, and we'll be coming back after this break with an extraordinary story, very inspirational with Virginia Sanchez. You don't want to miss it. This is the Living Full Out Show, and we will be right back.
What would you do if you had to choose between the buffalo and the giraffes? Between a flower or an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a 1,000,000-year-old beach? Between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Would you make the right choice? Would there be a right choice? Now there's a way to help. Not just one, but all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental groups working together. It's one choice we can all live with.
This ad sponsored by Ad Council and EarthShare.
Hi, I can't come to the phone right now because I'm abusing my children. Not just verbally, but physically. I'll get back to you.
If only child abuse was this easy to recognize. If you even suspect abuse, call Child Help at 1-800-4A-CHILD or visit childhelp.org. We've helped millions of people help millions of children. All calls are anonymous and confidential, so call 1-800-4A-CHILD or visit childhelp.org. Child Help. Trust your instincts. Brought to you by Child Help and the Ad Council.
Later, much later, we heard something. We didn't breathe for listening. Then footsteps on the back porch, creeping, then more confident. After all, nobody was home. A hand closed on the knob on the screen door to the kitchen and found it latched. We heard a little sawing sound as a file began to slice through the screen wire. Grandma reached down for something in her sewing basket. Through the darkness, I managed to notice Grandma's rocker was rocking and she wasn't in it. She was standing over me. "Keep just behind me," she whispered. I followed her across the room into the kitchen. Now we were by the door, and I heard the scuffle of heavy feet in there on the crinkly linoleum. Grandma turned back to me. Under my nose, she struck a wooden match with her thumbnail. She touched the match to something in her other hand. It sizzled. Then she leaned down and rolled it into the invisible kitchen. Explore new worlds. Find out what happens next by reading the book A Long Way from Chicago by Richard Peck. For other great book ideas, visit literacy.gov. A message from the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. A professional motivational speaker, Nancy can help you overcome obstacles and start living full out. Call in with questions live at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Welcome to the Living Full Out Show. Everybody, I hope you're having a great day and truly living your life full out in a big way. Today we are talking about making those big decisions in life, having confidence in your decision making, knowing that your life is worth it and that you need to go out there and just grab it with both hands and just gobble it all up. And really, honestly, I am so proud of our last caller. Very, very good question. And you know, knowing that we have the ability to make decisions and move forward in our life is really important, because I think sometimes we feel powerless. We feel like we don't have options. We feel like we don't have the ability to have what we want in life. And that is not true. Anybody who tells you that, run the other direction. You absolutely have the ability to live your life full out, to be happy, to smile, to laugh and love each and every day. But at the same time, know that those life lessons are going to come with some heartbreak, some really tough moments. And that's why this community is here. We're here to embrace stepping into our dreams and goals and really achieving them, but at the same time, being there for support for each other. And while we have this Living Full Out community each week for you, know that you also want to build your own intimate community of friends and family in your area, because support is not just something you get on a Saturday. We need it each and every day. If you have any questions or need support, feel free to call in. We're live today. The number is 800-333-0001. Again, 800-333-0001. As you've heard in the introduction there, I am actually legally blind. And why I bring that up here before we go into our next guest is that was something that was unexpected. I had some major decisions to make in terms of how I was going to thrive in business without being able to see a computer, without being able to read a piece of paper. And you know what? I was able to reach out to people that had accessibility tools, people that could guide me, give me that support, counselors, mentors, and they helped me along the way to build my confidence, to know that without sight, my life was still going to be great. It was going to be everything I wanted and more. But I had to build my confidence. I had to take baby steps and learn those new tools. And so for everybody that's going through a big challenge in your life right now, or dealing with relationships or health concerns or financial stresses, reach out to somebody in your local area. Call in today, but know that the tools and resources are accessible to you. You're not on this journey alone. What I love about our next guest, Virginia Sanchez, is that over the course of her life, she had many, many different crossroads that she had to come up against, where some decisions may have been the right ones, some maybe not, but she never lost sight of her worth. She never lost sight of her dreams and goals to be successful, to find unconditional love, and to really build strong relationships with her family and friends. She touches me today, even from the first day that we talked. I'd like to introduce to the show today, Virginia Sanchez.
Hi.
Hi, Virginia. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. You are such a powerhouse. And, I think today you said you're 24, right? So you have a lot of life ahead of you. But, boy, you've had a road, haven't you?
Yes, I have. It's been a long journey to get where I'm at today. I'm really proud of myself for making it through the struggle.
Well, and I am proud of you as well, and I know our community here is just learning more about you, but I'd like to go back, if it's okay, just so we can kind of bring everybody up to where you are currently. You know, you grew up in the Bronx in New York,
Yes.
And that
yes,
was a tough environment, right? What kind of choices did you have as a young child living in that area?
Well, my brother used to walk me from school. My parents were gone a lot, and my dad left when I was 5. So, and after that, I only saw him maybe twice a week until we moved to Virginia. But we lived in a bad area in Sedgwick in the Bronx, and it wasn't the area that you should hang out per se. We moved to another area, but then again, it was just me walking myself to school. My mom wasn't home, or when she did come home, she was a little depressed because my father left, and I kind of just made my own choices. And my sister dropped out of school when she was in 9th grade. So we ended up moving to Virginia when my mother found out, and my mother just needed a change of environment. So that was a whole other obstacle when we moved to Virginia. After that, I barely saw my father, maybe twice a year. My mother went through a spiritual crisis, and she didn't come home a lot. We ended up having to pick up our stuff one day after we came home from school and leave that day. And my mother said, "Grab everything you need." And we moved into a garage, the 3 of us and our dog, and with 1 bed, and we lived there. And it was nothing new. I mean, throughout my life, it was usually a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, even when there was 6 of us living there.
You know, so, the thing that I think that's so really amazing about that, Virginia, is when you were growing up in the Bronx, and even as you transitioned to Virginia, obviously the state, it was interesting because everybody around you, that's just how families lived. Families had, large families living in small environments. You know, a lot of people turned to gangs. A lot of people got pregnant. A lot of tough times, right?
Oh yeah, everybody. I mean, all those people that I knew in New York, a lot of them are in jail or pregnant, or just struggling. It was definitely nothing new. All the Hispanics in the area, we all had large families and 2-bedroom apartments.
If you could go back in time and sit next to your, let's say, 5-year-old self, 6-year-old self, what would you tell her?
I would say you have a lot ahead of you. Be strong, but you'll make it.
And boy, did you have a lot ahead of you, huh? After you transitioned to Virginia, you started to encounter sampling different drugs and then really started to not find the best relationships, quite abusive ones, right?
Yes. I started trying drugs when I was 13, and it was mostly because I didn't really have anyone telling me what to do. I would go out to the club at age 15. I remember drinking a 40-ounce beer on the bus, and my friend recording me. Like it was nothing. I did whatever I wanted, and I got into my first abusive relationship when I was 15, and I didn't know any better. It was a different source of love, and I thought it was awesome, but I mean, it could be deadly. There were times he put a gun to my head. So.
Yeah, and in one of our previous calls, you were talking about that, and just so the community here can understand the depths of that relationship, what made that relationship other than putting a gun to your head, which was really quite stressful and really traumatic, with every relationship that we're in, there's some buy-in. There's a reason why we stay. Why do you think you stayed in that relationship?
Because I felt like it was a source of love. It was the fact that he loved me so much that I made him this angry, and it was only because he cared. And the fact that nobody else really cared about what I was doing, who I was with, I thought that this was real love. This is what real love was. And, I mean, I kind of just dealt with it up until I met someone else. And it kind of got worse and more intense because more drugs were involved, and that person was an addict.
Right. So your next relationship was also an abusive relationship, and ironically, even worse.
Yes. And the only way I was able to leave was after I got pregnant with twins and miscarried, and he didn't show up to the hospital. I lost 4 quarts of blood, and the doctor said if I had lost one more quart, there was a high chance that they were going to have to put me into surgery for a hysterectomy. So the fact that he didn't show up was what made me realize that I deserved better. The fact that I've gone through all this and I've tried so hard to make these relationships work and put so much effort into it, and I'm still here. I just said this can't be it. This can't be what love really is.
Well, and really, when we simplify it down, you just wanted somebody to care. You just wanted to be acknowledged, to be visible. Because unfortunately, and so many times we encounter this in life, and this is sometimes why we choose the wrong relationships, we just want that validation. We want to feel that somebody loves us.
Yeah, I honestly, I didn't have the network at home. Like I didn't have a mother making sure that I was doing my homework every night. I got kicked out of my first high school. So
yeah, and you know what, Virginia? Because we're going to have to go to commercial break here in a second, you're starting to go into something that I think is really important, and I'm going to leave our listeners hanging on that, because I am telling you, your story is not only inspiring, but really everybody should stand up and applaud you at the end of this interview, because you've come so far. And so with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. I want to come back and share with them more about how your story unfolds. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So we will be right back after this commercial break. This is the Living Full Out Show. We'll be back.
Ahoy there, matey. How's the fishing this morning?
Shh! You'll scare the fish.
Oh, nonsense. Fishies love the safety pirate. Now tell me, I see you're wearing your life jacket, and that's mighty smart of you. But have you taken a boating safety course?
I have. Now, could you please leave?
So you know to stay alert by not mixing alcohol and boating, don't you?
I do.
But I bet you didn't know it's dangerous to speed on the water. Now, did you, Turbo?
Actually, I knew that.
Well, smarty pants. You seem to know it all, don't you?
Yep. Maybe even more than a safety pirate.
Watch your mouth, sailor!
When you're out on the water this year, make sure you're being safe. Learn the boating rules and watch out for other boaters.
And remember to boat smart. Boat safe.
A message from the National Safe Boating Council.
I want to change some things. I want the moms where I live to have childcare they can trust.
I want to make sure my little brother and his friends have a safe place to play.
I want to help more kids graduate from high school.
Help more hardworking families learn how to budget and save.
I want more of my neighbors to have access to health care.
Want to make a difference? There are so many ways you can. Help create opportunities for everyone in your community.
I want to change what I see around here.
United Way is creating real, lasting change where you live by focusing on the building blocks of a better life: education, income, and health.
I mean, I just want to see more smiles on my sidewalks.
Reach out a hand to one and influence the condition of all. Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. For more, visit United Way at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a trusted life coach, Nancy will help you overcome setbacks and embrace all life has to offer. Call in with questions live at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Welcome back to the Living Full Out show. We are just in the midst of a very engaging interview with Virginia Sanchez. And everybody listening today, just so you know, we're talking about those big life decisions. We're talking about how we have to stay positive in life. We have to keep moving forward. And some life journeys are going to be easier than others. And the reason why I brought Virginia on today is because she had so many different life transitions that were difficult. You know, growing up in the Bronx in New York and being surrounded by gangs and an absent father and a depressed mother, and, you know, her siblings were there and then they weren't there, and then moving and then being in an abusive relationship. She covered so much in the last segment, but so much more is still to come. I'd like to reintroduce Virginia Sanchez. Virginia?
Hi.
Hi. So, you know, again, you were just starting to go into in the last segment about even going through all these abusive relationships. You also were not only struggling with those intimate relationships, but you were also struggling at school.
Yes. I got kicked out of my first high school, and it was all because I didn't have someone to just be there, to just care. And I didn't have any help just growing up, did my homework alone. And, you know, I can actually only recall one instance where my mother helped me. And I can't recall any instances where my father helped me. But I had to find some inner force within me to drive myself to actually, like, want to learn and grow and move forward. I thought that at first, you know, maybe it could just be I'll fall in love and have kids and end up like everybody else that I knew. But I wanted more. I wanted to do more than that, you know. And even if I had to do it by myself, you know, even if I had to go from couch to couch, you know, with my boyfriend after we got kicked out of our first apartment, or, you know, or just, you know, continue to go to school, even though last night, you know, the party ended at you know, 7 a.m. this morning, you know, and there were, you know, just, you know, 15 people sleeping in the living room and garage. And
well, let me ask you a question, Virginia, because in your voice, I can hear the depths of how painful those times were. You know, what do you feel in your body right now when you talk about this story?
Just the fact that I'm finally sharing my story with more people. It's a little nerve-wracking because it's so personal, and it took so long for me to just share it all. I would tell people bits and pieces, and those were very select few. But
yeah, I mean, even today we can only cover so much. You know, I mean, I know that, you know, you shared with me that, you know, you had lost your twins, and I'm sorry about that, and you had some other opportunities to have children, but that didn't happen either. And you know, it's, you know, your father has been in and out of your life, and you know, what would you want most from your parents today?
I just want them to be there. And sometimes being the best parent isn't, you know, going out and buying me a car. It's not going out and, you know, just paying for my full tuition. That's not even it. It's more about just being there when you get home, greet you with a smile, and ask how your day is. Know what's going on in your life, you know what struggles you're facing, and just trying to help in their best way. You know, it doesn't have to be through money. And my dad tried to do that later on in my life, and I just had to remind him that wasn't what love is.
What do you
I've been
want?
struggling my whole life.
What do you want most from your father? If you could ask for one thing, what would that be?
I just want him to say he's proud of me.
Mm-hmm.
He's never really said that before. So.
Well, in Virginia, you have so many life lessons that you've learned along the way, but you gave all of us a gift today, because it is not hard to call up anybody and say, I'm proud of you. It is not hard to call up somebody and say, I just love you. Those words would be very powerful to hear from your dad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is you have gone through the fire. You have come out the other end, but it hasn't been easy. And even most recently, you're putting yourself through school full time. You're working full time. You're contributing in so many ways to so many others. Share with us where you are today after going through all that trauma and stress and really being lost, in your life.
Well, after I moved to another state, I and just started over. I already had my associate's degree that took me about 3.5 years, 4 years to get through all that. And I'm going to be graduating in the fall with my bachelor's in business administrative management. And I've been working full time, as recently stated, and paying for my tuition and just paying for my living. I don't get a lot of support, so I'm just trying to make it on my own. And I know that this isn't going to stop me. This isn't the end. I have a lot more that I want to do, and I want to help people that went through exactly what I went through or anything similar.
Now, are you in a healthy relationship today?
Yes, I've been with my boyfriend for almost 2 years, and when I moved to another state, and I met him at my university, and he is terrific and so supportive, and his family is wonderful, and they have been such a big help and blessing in my life, and have given me a lot of the support that I needed in so many different areas of my life as well. Mm-hmm. So I am definitely in a healthier spot. I'm happy, and I'm determined.
Well, let's hear that happiness. I hope you're smiling, right? I want to hear you giggle and laugh because you need to celebrate where you are today. This is great. And the thing is, they say, home is where the heart is. Are you home?
I have almost reached that sense of home. I find home in my boyfriend, but once we actually get a house, to which I've never lived in, I've never actually, lived in a house that was our own. I've lived in a garage in a house, but I've never actually owned a home. So that, I think once I reach that step, I'm going to be like, gosh, I finally did it. I finally have been able to reach my dream. So.
Well, and can you in a very clear vision see that home? Can you taste that experience?
Oh, I can. It is in my near future.
Awesome. See, that's so great. As we kind of close up our interview today, one of the things that I think is so important when looking back in our life is really to understand the lessons learned. What do you think was the biggest lesson that you've learned?
I've learned that you can find strength within yourself. Although I wanted it in so many different areas, at the end, it really just took, that self-motivation to get you there. You have to, maintain a positive outlook on life and just keep that hope. And eventually you will find everything you need. Mm-hmm. It will come.
If you had a magic wand and you could go back and change your life, those experiences, would you?
No, I mean, I'm such a strong woman today, and it has made me capable of relating to so many different people, and I want to use it. I want to use it to do more in the future for others. Mm-hmm. So it's now my passion. I would not change it.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And one of the things that I want to give you an opportunity to share with our community, because you've been so giving, what would you like to share with everybody listening today that would be kind of your final motivational thoughts for the day?
I would say that, if you're a mother, if you're a father, just keep in mind that just every little thing that you say, every positive thing, it makes a difference in your child's life. And just spending that extra 30 minutes with them before you go to work or after, that helps, And to all the family members, and siblings, it just being close with your family members is extremely important, because everybody's life is different, and everybody goes through things, and advice here and there. I mean, they can hold on to that for their entire life, and all the different people that have went out of their way in my life to just help me, that won't go unremembered. I will make sure I return that favor later on.
Well, your advice will be taken to heart. I'm going to run with that today myself, I promise you. Thank you so much, Virginia, for being a part of our show today. And we're all going to keep you in mind, and we can't wait till you get that house. Definitely call in, keep us posted, okay?
Thank you again.
Thank
you so much for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you, Virginia. So what a powerful story. I mean, I'm just so impressed by her in so many ways. But we all have a story. We all have that motivational advice that we can give. So this is the time for you to call in and get advice. This is the time for you to, even if you hear a caller who says something that's a question or a need that they have, I want you to call in and give them advice. This community is alive, it's thriving, and we can help each other in great ways. So this is the Living Full Out Show, and we will be coming back taking lots of calls. So again, the phone lines are open, and thank you again, Virginia, so much for your very inspirational story. Again, my name is Nancy Solari. This is the Living Full Out Show, and we'll be right back.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
You remember that ball game we went to a couple years ago?
Sure.
And how you didn't have enough cash for 2 hot dogs, so you walked with me on your shoulders until we found an ATM? And then when we got back to our seats, we never saw the hot dog guy again.
Well, I don't remember all that.
Yeah, that was an awesome game.
You never know which moments will be the ones they'll remember forever, so take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Medical mistakes claim tens of thousands of lives every year. The healthcare community is working on it, but you can help. When you communicate with your doctor, when you ask more questions, you reduce your risk of suffering a medical mistake. Doctors can't answer if you don't ask. Help reduce your risk. Questions are the answer. Learn the 10 questions you must ask. Visit www.ahrq.gov. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, and the Ad Council.
I'm getting a catcher's mitt.
I'm getting ice skates. I'm getting a devastating flood.
Adults are generous. We're even giving kids global warming, but we can still reduce greenhouse gas pollution. Go to fightglobalwarming.com. Brought to you by Environmental Defense, the Robertson Foundation, and the Ad Council.
The following commercial is sponsored by FeedThePig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned,
no obligation consultation,
nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety,
one-stop shopping,
everything under one roof,
or promise
prices reduced up to 75%.
A sale like this can't go on forever. Factory liquidation.
Financing options available.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details.
Prices and participation may vary.
Legal exclusions apply.
No purchase necessary.
Or try to convince you that our product will give you
leaner, tighter abs in minutes.
Perfect smile. Porcelain veneers.
Freedom from those painful, embarrassing bunions.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a certified life coach, Nancy can help you to overcome challenges and start living full out. Call in with questions live at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Welcome back to the Living Full Out Show. Boy, we have had such a powerful show today. Thank you so much, Virginia, for that very inspirational story and great words of wisdom, and we're definitely going to be cheering her on throughout the day. We are talking today about making those big decisions in life, having confidence in our decision making, getting support from those around us, seeking resources. And we are here today for you. Again, you can call in. We're live. The number's 800-333-0001, 800-333-0001. The Living Full Out Show is here to give you that motivation, to help you get over that hump if you're struggling with something or something's keeping you up at night. This is the time to get that motivation. I know for me, going legally blind has been a really challenging road. I mean, just imagine seeing things and then over years they disappear. Today it's much harder to see faces. It's harder to read things on paper, if at all. And with those challenges, though, I've had to make adjustments. And now I see life through a different lens. And the lens is love. I listen to people. I follow my intuition. And sometimes when we make decisions, we have to do that. We have to trust ourselves. Know that whether the decision is right or wrong, it's going to unfold naturally. And then again, we have that ability with each and every day to make a new, or even in some cases, better decision. So we have a couple different callers that are calling on the line. I see coming up here. We're going to go to the lines now. Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi, Nancy. Thank you.
Hi. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, so I've been listening to the show, and I feel very indecisive about making decisions, so I was wondering if I could get some advice from you.
Absolutely. Tell me, what's going on right now in your life that's having you feel this way?
Well, I feel like I'm the person that, my friends always come to when they need help making a decision, and I always somehow give them good advice and they feel confident, but then when it's my turn to make big decisions, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm making the right choice, or that I feel indecisive, and I don't know how to choose what's the right choice for me.
Can you think about a time in your life when you made a decision that you regretted?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
okay, yeah. That's a pretty fast answer. Yeah. So I'm guessing yes. So here's what we have to be careful about. Sometimes when we make decisions in the past, and I said it earlier, the past is just that, it's the past. Sometimes when we make a decision that we feel we regret, or maybe it was the wrong one, it can cause triggers in our body that will make us feel unconfident or weary of our ability to make a decision. And it's interesting because what you really want to do, and you want to know and have confidence that the same decision that you're giving your friends, which is from love, which is from maybe your own youthful internal wisdom, if it's working for others, you have to trust yourself that your advice is good. You are a good decision maker. You're a good advice giver. You know, what do you think that well, actually, let me phrase this question differently. Why do you feel that you are not confident in your decision making?
Well, I guess it's like almost fear of the unknown, and it's like about taking that risk, which I think is really scary for me, and knowing that, oh, you know, I may not like my decision afterwards, or like I may be unhappy, and like almost like feeling stuck.
And those unknowns are scary. They're really scary. You know, I feel like every time I walk out my door, it's an unknown because I can't see certain things. So I get that in more ways than one. But do you remember the first time that you ever rode a roller coaster?
Yes.
Okay? You don't know when that hill is going to come. You're going up, 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 and you know it's going to go down, and it's exhilarating.
Yeah.
Making a decision is kind of like that. The ride, it may be a big hill that you go down. You may be scared, but you got to go down that hill. That's what life is about. And don't be afraid of making the wrong decision. Don't be afraid of the unknown, because you're living your life full out. You were born into this world not only because you're a great advice giver to many, but you have a very purposeful life. And when we are purposeful in our lives, it comes from lessons learned. It comes from the right decisions and the wrong decisions. That's probably why you are such a good advice giver. So I just encourage you to trust yourself. And I really want you to call back into the show as we go along here, as the months unfold, and keep us posted.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. We believe in you, and we'll look forward to your updates.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Who has not felt weary? Who has not felt concerned about the future or unsure about life going forward? We all have. Life is scary. The minute you walk out that door, the unexpected can happen. But just as we fear the bad things in life happening, great things can happen. You might walk out that door and meet the love of your life. You might walk out that door and try a new restaurant that you're just going to fall in love with. You know, you might embark on a travel that changes your world. If we don't take risk, we don't get the big rewards. So I want everybody today to think about playing big this week. Do one thing that you're uncertain about and just do it. We're going to go back to the phone lines. We have, Rose. Welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Rose. Welcome to the show. Tell me, what's going on today?
Right now I'm struggling with the upcoming death of my grandmother. She's recently stopped taking her medication, so now my family is just waiting. And I'm struggling with how to approach her and my family with this tragedy.
Grandmothers and grandfathers are very special, and I can appreciate not knowing how to say goodbye to somebody. Are you finding that you're kind of tiptoeing in the fact that, does she know she's passing? Does she know that obviously she went off our medication, but does she also feel like it's coming to the end? Or do you feel like you're just, every time you see her, you're like staying positive, I'll see you next week, see you next month kind of thing?
She's aware, but I think she tries to stay positive for us too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what I encourage you to do is, grandparents are really smart. They know what's going on. I remember when my grandfather passed away, my dad's dad, he said to me, "This is it." Next day he passed away. He knew it. He just internally knew it. And I actually believe, having lost a father and a stepfather also, that when people are passing, when they know it. So don't worry about saying the right thing or the wrong thing. What would be beautiful is to just reminisce. Talk about all the great times growing up. You know, my grandmother made the best oatmeal cookies, and I loved talking to her about that. You know, just let her last days, for however long they are, just be full of embracing the memories. Is that something you can do?
Yes, that's definitely something I can do.
And also, grandmothers and grandfathers, they love talking about their life. They love it. Ask her about her childhood. Ask her about the first time she went on a date, her first, when she got married, her first job. Let her just talk to you about everything and anything. And I promise you, it's going to be a win-win experience for you as well, because you might learn things about your grandmother that you didn't even know.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to know one thing about your grandmother, spicy or not, what would it be?
Probably more about her childhood.
Okay.
Talking about that, yeah.
Okay. What games did she play? What toys did she have? It's so interesting how when we make the end of one's life lighthearted, it doesn't have to be superficial. It can be full of fun and games and play. And, I'm sure, I don't know if you grew up playing different patty cakes games, but I know that when I was a kid, I used to play all these hand gesture games with my girlfriends. And, from time to time, if I was a grandmother, I'd love someone to say, what games did you play with your girlfriends growing up? And I'd love to show my granddaughter that game. You know what I mean? So I think it can just be a really fun experience for the two of you. So if you could, just definitely call back in on another show. We'd love to hear about, what you learn, and just love her to pieces. And then for you and for everybody listening today, when those people do pass, when your grandmother does pass away, just talk about her all the time and keep her in your heart very close. Because when we stop talking about people, when we stop talking about those great memories, that's when the real loss happens. It isn't the fact that they're not actually physically here. We just don't want to ever remember the sound of their voice, what they look like. You might even record a couple conversations that you and your grandmother have so you can go back and listen at a later date.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Rose. So we have had such an extraordinary show today. I'm telling you, I love what I do because people are so vulnerable. They are so open with their lives. And the fact that this community is here to support each other, to live our lives full out is what it's meant to do. And we're here each week for you to call in. Again, 800-333-0001. Just write that down. But I want everybody today to just dream big. Think about next week. Think about your future and know that everything that you want is possible. It might take strategy, it might take resources and support, but you will get there. I believe in all of you, and here's to you living your lives full out. We'll be back next week with another really inspiring guest that will surely help you to redefine your own goals and dreams. And one thing I want you all to know is that life is going to be scary. Life is going to be full of laughter. But just live it. Live your life full out. Live your life with freedom in your heart. Live your life knowing that mistakes are okay. I know for me, going legally blind, visually impaired was a scary road, and we all have our scary road, but we're all doing it together. We'll be back next week, and here's to all you living your life full out. Have a great day.